Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsy's Guitar World. Welcome to what could be the first of a new series, or just a one-off video that doesn't do particularly well. I haven't decided on the name of the series yet either. It'll either be 4 from 1 or 5 from 1. We'll see how it goes. So the main premise of this video, and perhaps series, is that I will look at an album which I really like, and maybe an album which is from back in the day, which was a big influence on my guitar playing, and maybe pick 5 riffs from it, 4 riffs, 5 riffs, and show you how to play them, because not everybody wants to learn like a whole song, you know, all the parts of a song. People maybe just want to learn a couple of riffs from an album that they like, you know, from 1984 or something, which is when this particular album is from. The album is by the band Great White, released in 1984. Now, I think they did a 5-track EP before this, but this was their first major label release. This was on EMI America back in 1984. Now, my mate Laffy, who was a drummer in the band I was in, he got this. And like you do, you know, when your kid's 1984, what age, maybe 17 or something like that, you go round to your friend's house once a week, you should go around different houses, and somebody's bought a new album, and you all listen to it, and you all tape it. Home taping was killing music, but as it turns out, I bought this anyway. So you tape it and you go home and listen to it. We loved this album, absolutely loved it. This album, Great White by Great White, was unlike the later stuff when they went kind of bluesy rock, which I do like as well. I'm a huge fan of Great White. But this particular album, the debut, was very heavy metal. It was almost like British heavy metal. I won't say new wave of British heavy metal, but they had a very metal sound about it. It's produced by Michael Wagner, I believe. So it had a more sort of European sound and heavier chords than a lot of stuff that was coming out of America at that point in time. So we loved this, and I think they supported Whitesnake, I believe, on the 1984 tour. They played Glasgow Apollo, supported Whitesnake, and they got a lot of press. There was a lot of features in Kerrang about Great White at this point in time. I think because they were like a heavy metal band, they were more kind of British heavy metal. So yes, we loved this album. I loved playing along with it. So let's see the cover. You may already have this album. This is European cover, not the American cover. Now, I think this album did not do very well for the record label. It did not sell a lot of copies, and they were dropped. So here is the inside sleeve of this record. Difficult to focus because that sun's so bright out there. Strangely enough, it's quite bright in Scotland today, so that is the inside cover. I don't know if the American version came with an inside cover or not. So the personnel on this album, Great White, are Kendall, guitars, Mark Kendall, focus on that. Mark Kendall, Jack Russell, not the dog, Jack Russell on vocals, Lorne Black, not Lorne Sausage, Lorne Black on bass, and Gary Holland on drums. I think Gary Holland was replaced after this album by Audie Dubrow. I think he ended up playing drums, and Lorne Black, I can't remember who replaced Lorne Black. I'll have to Google that one after I make this video. So yeah, I really like this album. It's heavy metal, although it has to be said, some of the drum sounds I think is on Nightmares. One of the worst drum sounds I've ever heard, and it just seems to be particular to that song. I mean, the rest of it is, you know, the productions of its time. But it's good. It's a good heavy metal album. And in 1984, at that point in time, I was all about the heavy metal. Some UFO style of riffs. I'm going to do Out of the Night. Now, the reason I'm doing this series, if I can go off on a tangent here, the reason I decided to do this series, I have done 2 full guitar lessons, just the rhythm guitar parts, folks, so don't complain, there's no solos in them. I have done 2 full lessons for Out of the Night and Stick It, which was the single. I think they released Substitute, because they do a cover of Substitute by The Who. I think Stick It was a single, and that was like the video, which is great, you know. I'm out on the road and I'm rocking, stick it. Sorry about the rude thing there. Stick it. Yeah, so we love this. So today, I'm just going to go through 5 riffs. I'm going to show you the easy way to play 5 riffs from this album. So If this is going to be a series, I'll have to call it 5 from 1, because I'm going to show you 5 riffs from this album. It would be unfair of me to do another album and only show you 4 riffs. But who knows, maybe some other albums are more difficult to play. But this is a great album. Now, I will say one thing as well, and I said this on my lessons I did. I did covers for these songs as well. They'll be on my other channel at some point in time. If you're playing along with the original album, it is tuned sharp. It's almost a semitone sharp, and I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if the album was sped up in the mastering process, or if, because Jack has quite a high range in his vocals, I don't know if they recorded sharp as well, but it's about 45 cents sharp, between 40 and 45 cents sharp. So if you take something from this video, me showing you how to play these riffs, if you then try and play along with the album, please do be aware the album is tuned slightly sharp, so it may sound a bit funny. You may need to tune your guitar up, you know, almost a semitone, a semi-semitone. Or if you have the vinyl, you could just put your finger on the turntable and slow it down, but then I don't know how you play along if you're slow it down. Anyway, so if you're playing along with the original version of Great White by Great White, these 5 guitar riffs I'm just about to show you, do be aware that the original album is a bit faster. So let's go on with the show. So we'll do track 1, side 1. Now this song is very much a pedal tone on an open A string with a lot of palm muting at the bridge. Now if you don't know what palm muting is, I'll try and keep these lessons quite simple. Palm muting is we're using the meaty part of your palm here down at the bottom, and we're placing that on top of the strings just in front of the bridge. So without palm muting, this is the open A string. With palm muting, this is the open A string. You're kind of cutting the string a bit, cutting the sound out. So this whole song is very much around palm muting and an open A string. It modulates to E, but that's for another lesson. So the first part of the tune is one of the best things in rock and roll. There's a big pick slide. And then it comes in and plays this double stop on the 5th fret of the D and G strings and give it a slight bend. Just that. And then we're straight into the open A string palm muting. Double stop again. And then we go down and we play the 3rd fret of the bottom E string, a G note. Da, 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 da. So say double stop into the open A string palm muted. Double stop again to the G, and then again. Now the second time it plays the G to an open E. Now I think Mark Kendall maybe plays this away up here, but the easiest way to play that would be the G 3rd fret of the bottom string to the open string. So play the whole thing slowly. So if you played it with the G to the E and these power chords up here, it's quite difficult to get back to playing that double stop, but I'll give it a go. So this is maybe the way that Mark Kendall plays it. But my advice would be to play the easier way and just stay down here. Like that. Let's move on to song 2. So Stick It, quite similar to Out of the Night. Again, there's like an open A string pedal tone, and most of the chords we're playing are on the D and G string. So the first chord we play is the 7th fret of the D and the 9th fret of the G. You can play the A string open as well, and then move that all down to the 5th fret of the D and the 7th fret of the G. So in between those two chords we're going back to that palm muted A string. Then we hit that chord again and we drop the 5th fret on the D down to the 4th fret. And then hit it once more. So I'll play that slowly. And then an E. Now we're really just focusing on the bottom E string, or maybe the bottom E string and the 2nd fret of the A, and then going up to catch the open B and E strings, like that. So all together. I'll play that again. I don't think I played it quite correctly there. And then it's the same again, first time. And then this time, instead of going to the E, we just keep that chord, which is the 4th fret of the D and the 7th fret of the G, and we incorporate the A string open into that full chord. So those two parts together. And then the same for the third one is the same as the first one. And the last one to a D. So it's four of those all the way around. The first one ends on an E, second one ends on an A, third one ends on an E, and the fourth one ends on the D. So I'll play the whole thing slowly. Now we're into the verse, which modulates to an E, but I have done a full lesson for that one, so that one will be coming up soon on this channel, and the cover will be on my other channel. So let's move on. So we're on to Bad Boys. The first chord is an A, and then a B power chord, 2nd fret of the A, 4th fret of the D. Then we move that up to play an E power chord, 7th fret of the A, 9th fret of the D, and then to an F sharp power chord, the 9th fret of the A and the 11th fret of the D. So it's just those four chords, 4 power chords. Back to the A, to the B, and then this run. So what that run is, it starts on the 4th fret of the D string, down 2 to the 2nd fret of the D string, 3rd fret of the A, 4th fret of the A, back to the 3rd fret of the A, 2nd fret of the A, open A, and then 2nd fret of the E string, the F sharp note. So slowly. Back into the riff. So I'll play that whole thing very slowly. And it goes back into the riff again. I think he plays it 6 times. Now before it goes into the verse, the very last measure of the intro, it just does it. It just does 4, 2 on the D, 3 on the A, to 4 on the A, and then stops on that note there. It doesn't go into the rest of it. So we'll play the whole intro, and this takes you up to when we're going into the verse. And then we're into the verse. Next song. So we're on to On Your Knees. Again, some palm muting in this, and this is round E basically. So the first, I'll play it first. So the first note we're playing is the 3rd fret, the bottom string, a G note, bend it slightly, and then to just the E power chord, the E5 power chord. So there's a dit, dit, dit. And then we move up to a C power chord, 3rd fret of the A string, 5th fret of the D string. Palm muting on that chord. Back to the E. To the C. And then move that up to a D power chord. 5th fret of the A, 7th fret of the D. So I'll play the whole thing. Not a lot in this. This is just the intro riff. I think it's a chorus as well. Most of these riffs I'm showing you is like the intro, but it's also the chorus as well. So I'll play it slowly. And on to song number 5. So riff number 5 is from the song Street Colour. This is the riff that comes in after the intro, after he's done all his sort of harmonic stuff on that, the main riff. I'll play it first. So another one, power chords. And we're in E. So the first note is the open E. Maybe play that E5 chord. And then hit the 2nd fret of the A to the 3rd fret of the A. Back to the open E. And then go up to the E power chord, 7th fret of the A, 9th fret of the D. Play the intro again, down to a D power chord, 5th fret of the A, 7th fret of the D. So those two parts together. And then to a C power chord, which is the 3rd fret of the A string, 5th fret of the D string, move that up back to the D power chord, 5th fret of the A, 7th fret of the D. So slowly, that goes like this.